well.
Sync clap.
Okay, Kate, sync club.
All right.
Great.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shut Up,
Keep going.
podcast where we explore our internet
Internet
curiosities.
curiosity.
As
I wasn't gonna
many
do it because we've been butchering it so bad. I was like, I'll just let her take this.
Oh no. That's why I was trying to I was like maybe if she leads it'll be better. But I am Sydnee Goodman.
I'm Kate Franklin.
And yeah, let's get into it. This week Kate's presenting.
Let's get into it. I am presenting this week. And it's not for the faint of groin. Can I use? I don't know. I was trying to make a pun.
That. Lucifer is clutching his pearls right now.
Love that. Is that what that is? I can't see it.
What?
Too clearly. I don't know.
Huh?
What? What?
What are you talking about? What can't you see?
You just said Lucifer is clutching his pearls.
Oh, did you not see that whole thing with Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly?
Oh, I did. Was that like a line they said? I thought someone in the chat named Lucifer had an emoji of clutching pearls, and I was like, whoa, this is like an advanced.
No, when the whole like Megan Fox, Machine Gun Kelly, like they had some interview that came out that was very like Twilight-esque, and she posted this picture, this Instagram that here, I want to get the caption right. Sick.
That whole thing was insane.
I'm confused if it's real or not, but then I watched a video of them interviewing each other and they do have a lot of chemistry, so I don't know.
I mean, it seems like their publicists are like really having a good time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you see that what's her name? People think that Machine Gun
is dating Pete.
Yeah, which I'm like
Steven.
What?
So weird.
So weird. Okay, so
I mean,
A Tale of Two Outcasts.
okay, so this is the
I already heard it. Just hearing it is making me laugh. It's like, for some reason, those photos to me were like one of the cringiest things I had ever seen.
Yeah, I don't get it, which makes me feel like nobody is like immune to cringe because I feel like yeah, I don't know. But so basically she posted this Instagram post. It says, "The tale of two outcasts and star-crossed lovers caught in the throes of a torrid solar flare of a romance featuring," and then it becomes a list, right? "Feverish obsession, guns, addiction, shamans, lots of blood, general mayhem, therapy, tantric night terrors, binding rituals, chakra sound baths, psychedelic hallucinations, organic smoothies, and the kind of sex that would make Lucifer clutch his rosary."
That sounds like Stefan making a list. It is everything. Satan clutching his pearls.
So hot
Tantric
right now.
nightmares.
No, but also like two outcasts. You guys are like some of the most famous people in the world.
Yeah, and so they just have like guns? Like a guns or a relationship? Like, I don't understand.
And then somewhere
What is
there's
that list?
organic smoothies.
It sounds like you're having like a terrible acid trip in Spencer's Gifts. That's like what their relationship seems like to me.
Yeah, I don't know. And she has like kids.
Yeah, they both have kids.
They both have kids?
I was pretty shocked to learn that she has like many kids.
She has two.
Like, she has like
she was
two
in like a
kids.
marriage and like doing the mom thing.
Yeah, because that's where I was like, what happened to her? And then I realized that that's
I
what
think
happened.
I mean,
like
I don't
power to her.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know I don't know enough about her that I know what her actual intention was, but my interpretation was that it was like, oh, she got married, had kids, and was kind of like out of the limelight to like be a mom, and then they got divorced, and now she's with Machine Gun Kelly.
She's like, I'm back, baby. I mean, it definitely feels like she fell off the face of the earth and reemerged with like keeping with like the 2009 aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the other thing
Um,
was like everybody realized that everyone kind of did her dirty because she did speak out about Michael Bay before the Me Too movement was like a thing. And everyone just was
yeah.
like, what a crazy person. Like they just all sided with Michael Bay, including myself. I feel like when I saw that, I was like, man, she like shouldn't talk shit about people who like I don't know, it's like so backward. I guess that's a good thing is looking back on it that it seems so backwards, but that like she kind of was wronged by society at large cuz when she spoke out about like her being objectified as like a 16-year-old. Did you see all that?
No.
Yeah, that it was
I
like
don't know where I was.
Michael Bay like well it was a while ago that it was like she was like discovered or whatever and like Michael Bay wanted her to like dance in a bikini under like a waterfall or something as like a 16-year-old.
Ew. Oh my God.
Just like really gross things and she was just like talking about that and instead of everybody being like wow that was really gross he shouldn't have done that everyone was like wow she's such a brat for like how what a diva for like talking about this.
That's so crazy.
Right, isn't that nuts? And I feel like she's obviously a very like objectively hot woman whether or not that's like your type in terms of like what you're attracted to. I think it's just like very easy to look at her and be like she's very hot. um
Yeah.
and I feel like people just like I don't know I think people have always just like really been kind of mean to her because of that. Do you know what I mean? Almost stemming from like
Yeah.
a jealousy insecure place. But anyways, that's all to say that I still don't think that they're too what was the word like outsiders or like obscure individuals.
Oh my God. I just, yeah, that whole thing was, I honestly love it. Like, I love it.
I'm gonna get it tattooed. It's gonna be my first tattoo. Like you know how
That'd be sick. Like a
and
huge, like, arm piece.
well, I'm actually thinking that it's just gonna be like I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. So I want like the Instagram like UI on it and have
Wait, is the picture one of those pictures of them?
yeah, I think so. I can't remember which one it is.
Oh my God, I love that.
Here,
Well,
sorry, before you start, one second. I feel like I need to Megan Fox Waterfall underage.
look, I need to confirm this.
I just feel like it's like worth okay, so it is. So it says Michael Bay filmed Megan Fox dancing under a waterfall. Um wait, okay. In a bikini when she was just 15. That's what it was. And that in a 2009 Jimmy Kimmel interview featuring Megan Fox, she reveals how the director had her dance under a waterfall in a bikini at just 15 years old during the filming of Bad Boys 2. She says that when it was pointed out to Bay that Fox couldn't be filmed in a bar because of her age, his solution to that problem was to have me dance under a waterfall, getting soaking wet. So that is confirmed. Sorry, I felt like it was worth, making sure that we had the correct
You're like,
information.
that's not a fever dream I had.
Yeah.
That's real. Well, I don't have a good segue. That's not so grotesque. But your eyes did not, is it listed here, like what the subject is?
It should be. Can you guys see? Or oh no, I just updated it, so now you guys can see.
Oh, is it on? I can't see
It's
it
on
mine.
Twitch.
But we are going to be talking about famous penises.
We better be talking about Don Draper's.
Don Draper's?
You don't remember that whole thing? I don't want to derail us too much, but that whole thing with Jon Hamm where like they had to tell him to wear underwear on the set of Mad Men
No.
because yeah.
No, tell me no. Tell me no.
Oh my gosh. Jon Hamm, I think it was Mad Men. Jon Hamm needs to wear underwear. Yeah, there we go.
No.
So he was asked to wear underwear due to tight Mad Men pants because like it was just like outlining his penis so intensely and that it was like he was packing.
I love that. That's so funny. Of course. Of course.
Am I allowed to show this on here?
Is there a picture?
Yeah.
Show it. Wait, it's cut off. I can't see the goods. Oh no, Jon Hamm.
So that's what I thought we were talking about, but you tell me more.
No, we're not talking
So
about
not
that.
that
We're
kind
talking
of.
about more historical examples.
Okay.
Well, because I don't know where. I can't get out of this. I don't know where I heard this, but it was a few days ago. Where was this? Is this in Royal Tenenbaums? That the Napoleon's penis? No, it's Succession. It's a Succession thing. I don't watch Succession.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you start watching?
Do you watch?
I love Succession, yeah. It's like this like
Have
soap
you-
opera. It's like a smarter soap opera, I guess. I mean, it's very soap opera-y, but I'm in it to win it.
I watched the pilot and I thought it was
The
atrocious.
pilot's bad. The pilot's very bad.
And like, I don't know. Caleb's like really into it now. He was not into it, and then he was like, "Oh, I realized like it's like supposed to be like funny how like
Yeah.
insane they are or something."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like it's very
But-
self-aware.
I feel like I don't have enough time to start a new show
That's fair, that's
these
fair.
days. But anyways, for some reason this is in Succession and I heard about it somehow. This tale of Napoleon's penis. But we're not going to talk about him yet. We're going to have
Okay.
some other examples.
We're gonna
first.
lead in.
So, the first little or not so little man, shall we say, that we're going to be talking about is John Dillinger, who is a famous mobster. And I'm not really going to go into his background at all because I did not look it up. But he was like a famous mobster who robbed 24 banks and 4 police stations. And
Police
he died in-
stations.
I know, I don't know like
Huh.
what he was robbing. Maybe he was like people free.
Well, I guess if he was a mobster, maybe like evidence or something.
Yeah, probably. So he died in a shootout in Chicago on July 22nd, 1934. And there's a super notorious crime scene photo in which the famous deceased gangster was seen with a raging hard-on.
Oh.
And a rumor began to circulate that his penis was being kept at the Smithsonian. And so, Sydney, I sent you that picture. You can see for yourself. This is the famous picture. I
Okay.
don't think it really looks like that, but like I guess
Let
see
me pull
why.
it up. Open link. Yes. Wait, sorry. It's over your face. Holy no way. There's no way. That's
I mean, that
supposed
would
to be
have to be
his penis.
humongous.
That looks like it's his arm.
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
no way. No way. That whole, so we're saying from like here to
I mean,
here.
that's huge.
Oh my gosh. That doesn't even look pleasurable. That looks horrible. How would he have lovers?
Yeah.
I feel like he'd just hurt them.
I mean, I don't know.
There's no way.
Yeah. Well, so this is, I mean, so I guess too, let's talk about how this rumor got started. That not only did he have a huge penis, but it was being held at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C.
Wait, so these are supposed to be like museum goers?
No, those are people at the crime scene after he died. So this is a crime scene photo.
Oh,
He is dead
okay.
in that picture.
Wow, they let that many people on the crime scene?
Yeah, that's like back in the day, like everyone just kind of rushed to crime scenes and like people sold popcorn. Do you know what I mean? Like
Wait,
it's
really?
like- yes. What? That was the whole thing with the Black Dahlia is like she was found and then all these newspaper men like just like trampled over everything, and that's kind of why they haven't been able to solve it, because like all the
There's
evidence
too
was
much
just
shit.
like trampled over.
I mean, I guess I
yeah.
would understand like newspaper people, but I feel like random people being like, do you know what I mean? Like trying to get the
Well,
scoop.
that's a huge thing. Like, if you learn about a lot of like old murders, like I feel like we kind of are ashamed these days of being so sensationalized and like gross with people's personal lives. But like back in the day when people get murdered, like people would like mob the crime scenes and like sell souvenirs from them. Like it was like really fucked up.
I'm learning so much shit today. Okay, go ahead.
And yeah, people love to see like dead bodies of famous people.
Oh,
Like in general. It's like a
okay.
huge thing as well, which I feel
I
like we're
just
better off these days.
I don't think
'cause,
I need to see dead bodies. I didn't even want to do like the open casket
Oh
for
yeah,
like
I
my grandfather.
same. My grandmother had an open casket and I didn't look up from the ground the entire time because I just
Yeah.
like could not deal. Um anyways, so how this rumor got started is that um there was gossip that he was like a sexual like guy in his
Okay.
lifetime. Even though there's no like there's no actual evidence of that, like people have said that.
Sure.
And that that photo taken in that circus like atmosphere of that was actually, excuse me, that was at the morgue. So a bunch of people came to the morgue.
He still had
To,
enough blood flow to.
well, that's the thing. It's not true. This isn't true.
This is it. So this is a doctored photo.
No, it's real. It's just like it's probably his arm. It's like something else. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. That's a bummer.
I guess I should preface this with a lot of it. We're talking about famous penises, but it's mostly the like gossip of
So like the myths, like
the myths,
legends.
the legends of historic penises. I guess we should clarify that. um. So, uh, the what people think is why this happened was that that photo, like when it was reproduced in newspapers, since it was like so fuzzy and like not good quality, that a lot of people were like, oh my god, he was like so well endowed. And I mean, I guess no one thought like how could you die and like be fully erect? Like I don't know if that's like biologically possible. Is it? I'm
Can I
not sure.
ask
I
a
should
dumb
have probably looked
question?
that up. Yeah.
When you die, where does your blood go? Does it just like all dry up? Because
Oh
isn't
my
the whole thing
god.
that you're
How do
like,
I not know that? I don't
I was a
know.
bio major.
Should
How
I
do
look
I
that
not
up?
know that?
Yeah, I went to art school, okay?
But like, because I feel like it obvious
I'm looking it
if you
up.
don't have like a wound or something, but regardless, you get kind of like ghostly and clearly the circulation isn't happening. But so like, where does the blood go? Does it just like stop circulating and hang out wherever it stopped?
Okay, it says the blood will pool to the lowest part of the body, then heart is no longer pumping around. Gravity is the only thing doing it. If the person is lying on his back, the blood will settle there. Um, and then
On the back?
wait, this is a terrible answer. Okay.
So it'll basically just
Okay,
settle
no,
somewhere.
basically becomes clot, like it becomes super clotted.
Oh, okay. Ew. That has to smell.
Um, yeah. Ew. I guess that's why they like the morgues like drain people's blood.
So theoretically, if you die and you want everybody to think you have and you want to die with a boner, you should die like on your stomach so that like your penis can just like collect all the blood.
Like be planking.
Yeah.
Um
We can't fulfill that, but I guess that's a pro tip for those of
oh,
you in
because
the
that's the
chat
thing.
who.
Okay, this is related to blood when you die. That's why in the Bible, when the soldier pierces Jesus' skin to see if he's died, they say it comes out as water and like
Like clumps.
blood because it like had clotted, and so
Mm.
then it had separated, I guess.
Okay.
This is from Quora, so I don't know if any of this is true.
That's fine. It was just a tangent.
Um. So, anyways, that was just a rumor. That's one of the famous rumor historic penises. And I guess people believed that when he was prepared for his funeral in Indiana that someone chopped it and gave it to the Smithsonian.
Oh, and that's why it
Um,
wasn't there anymore. Got it. Okay.
yeah,
What would the
but
Smithsonian do with a
the
preserved penis?
Smithsonian has vehemently denied these claims. But honestly, maybe it's true because you'd probably want to deny that, right?
I don't know. Maybe like they're like saving. Can you imagine if they had this exhibit that's just like comparing all of like great world leaders' penis sizes?
I mean, that would be a hit exhibition and they'd probably make so much money. I mean, people are very morbidly curious, I would say.
I just don't know that I'd want
Um,
to see a bunch of like, I know the word
I mean,
isn't
I wouldn't, but I
decapitated,
feel
but
like other
like
people would, I
a bunch
guess.
of like penises. Like penises just aren't
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah. I mean, the ugliest one, I don't know if I'll send it to you. I don't know if we should post it. I don't know if it's like grotesque, but one coming up. Actually, the next person we're going to talk
It's
about.
coming up,
Let's talk
eh?
about Gregory Rasputin. All
Ooh.
right. I feel like this is the famous one that everyone has heard about. So, Gregory Rasputin, Rah Rah Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen, was a legendary Russian mystic and influential advisor to Tsar Nicholas II in the early 20th century, aka
1900.
1900. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and he was famous for many things, uh, including his magnetic sway over some of the most powerful aristocrats in St. Petersburg and the intense resentment a lot of people had for him and his healing powers. And then one of those was also his intense sexual escapades.
Oh.
Um, so Rasputin practiced an unusual form of Christianity that married traditional Christian rituals with litigious sexual practices. He allegedly took noble women such as the Tsarina, or the queen, the Russian queen, um, uh, as a lover. And his exploits have been a crucial part of his legacy. And here's the thing, I'm not sure if any of this is true or if this is like legend. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, I can never tell.
Like
And I
urban
actually
legend.
read
Mhm.
like a whole biography about him, and like the whole thing was like, I don't know, like they just because he was such a, what's the word? Uh Polarizing figure. I mean, he was pretty bad. He was like not a good guy, but
Okay. I don't know anything about him besides the song.
he had a crazy life. Crazy life. I honestly read it like with the same interest that I would have like watching the Kardashians. Do you know what I mean? Just like,
Okay.
what is this about? Like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
kind of like,
What's the deal here?
yeah, salacious and fun, honestly. Um, so this place in St. Petersburg, uh, claims to this day, it's called claims that they have Rasputin's penis in a glass jar. This is the Museum of Russian Erotica, and it's, like I said, in St. Petersburg. Um, and uh, they said the alleged 13-inch specimen pleases thousands of people who come to visit it every year at their small museum.
Wait, is that erect or flaccid?
It's flaccid. I saw a picture of it, and it's definitely flaccid.
Here, wait, send
Okay.
me a picture. I won't show it on
Okay.
here. I don't think I can show you guys. Sorry. Look it up, I guess.
Where is the picture? Here, let me find one.
Man, wow, 13 inches.
It's like so gross. I think it looks like a um like a
And you're
horse
saying that
dick.
this is real? Or do you think that they just took like
I
a
don't
horse
know.
stick?
It's not, it's alleged.
Okay.
Sending to you. All Oh my God, it does not want to send. That's so funny. I'll just send you the Google search.
Okay. Hi, Simba.
Um,
I'm so glad that cats don't have big penises. That'd be so freaky.
have you seen a cat penis though? They're like barbed and
Oh,
terrifying.
I have. Chester is really a titillated cat. We don't like, he obviously like is fixed because, but he also like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like he just, it's always like raging. Okay, this looks like an elephant trunk.
Yeah, it like does not like I don't know. I don't know. I'm dubious for sure.
I don't know.
Um,
That just,
but
this
the
doesn't,
founder,
what's up with the
yeah.
girth?
I don't know. It's well, it's also like super old, so it probably hasn't like aged well. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, sorry, continue. Oh my gosh.
Um, I'm sorry to everyone on the stream right now that they have to listen to this. Everyone's like so disturbed. So the Museum of Russian Erotica's founder is named Igor Knyatskin. That's not how you probably say it, but whatever. And he takes particular pride in the fact the specimen, which is dubious in its origin, is larger than the one attributed to Napoleon, which is one we'll talk about a little bit
Oh,
later.
good.
And he says that by having this specimen, we can, quote, we can stop envying America, where Napoleon Bonaparte's penis is now kept. It cannot stand in comparison to our organ of 30 centimeters.
Wait, we have Napoleon's penis?
Allegedly. We'll talk about that in a second. I probably should have ordered these differently because that would have been whatever. So this museum has been open since 2005, and it's pretty unassuming. Uh, it basically has like it's two rooms, and one of the rooms is like set up like Napoleon's like bedroom, and then there's
Okay.
this wall of curtains, and there's like buttons on it, and like you press the buttons, and it like you're supposed to like guess which button to press for the curtains to part to reveal the penis. And so the writer of this article that I didn't write down what article it was. It's like the first thing that comes up when you Google this. But he said he clicked the right button and the curtains parted and it's this huge glass jar and it's inside of it. And it's humongous. So basically this is their story of how they got this.
Okay.
So Rasputin was assassinated in 1916, but his death, as much as his penis, lies shrouded in mystery. Some believe that an influential advisor and healer was serving cakes and wines laced with arsenic, and he was after he was poisoned. He was then shot multiple times by this prince who like was not about him. He was the one who poisoned him initially, but then after he was poisoned, he like went off and was then shot by this prince's conspirators. And then he was clubbed because the poison and bullet wounds did not kill him. And then ultimately he was drowned or just dumped in the Neva River. The Nieva River, I guess.
Okay, this guy sounds like the insurance fraud guy that wouldn't die.
Yeah, it's like he like just wouldn't die. That's like the famous story of Rasputin is that he wouldn't die. And so it's claimed that at some point he was mutilated and the penis was
I feel like, okay, if I'm assassinating somebody and just based on how much like men seems to love to like compare dick sizes, like if I was assassinating somebody and they had a huge dick, I would want that thing to be buried in the ground. I don't want anybody to know that like my mortal enemy is like packing heat, you know? I wouldn't like take it off, so I'd be like, look, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean I don't know.
Like,
It's
if I had to
all
think about
bad.
it.
Yeah, I mean yeah. I mean but even the act of doing that is also like really embarrassing. So I don't know. Like it's all bad.
I think I would oh my gosh. I don't know that I should say that out loud.
Did you just type it to me?
If I was gonna embarrass somebody, I think I would find an alternative way to dispose of it. I don't think I would make anybody, like, I wouldn't like advertise again that he was well endowed. I think it would just be like, oh, I'll take it and shove it somewhere else, you know?
Yeah. Um I mean, why can't I whatever. I can't see what you typed to me because I
Oh, I
don't
didn't
know.
type anything. Oh, sorry. It's because what I typed you was actually just Simba banging on my keyboard. He's sitting on my
I
desk.
love that. Um okay, so he was killed, right?
He was
So
killed.
then it says a maid was and someone chopped it off. Then apparently the next day a maid was said to have found his penis and then squirreled it away for safekeeping.
Do you think it was like a
Another
homemade dildo?
ew, no, Sydney.
They don't have those back then. I was just
Oh no. Well, here's the other rumor is that one of his former lovers took it after his autopsy. But again, why either of them would want it is like unclear and just room for fun speculation. So by 1920, a group of Russian immigrant women in Paris were said to have gained possession of an item that they believed to be Rasputin's penis. Um, and this relic was said to have been kept in a wooden casket, and legend has it that bits of it were broken off and given to disciples. Um, and Rasputin's daughter Maria apparently heard about the cult, and she was like, "I disapprove." And it's claimed that she took possession of whatever that they were worshiping, but there's no like evidence that this is true at
okay.
all.
Okay.
Um, so then for a half century, there was no news of this keepsake, shall we say, until 1994, the year of our births. American collector named Michael Augustine arrived on the scene. I'm not sure what scene, but he just arrived. He arrived with a red velvet pouch containing this object. And he claims that he acquired it in a storage locker in California, which, and it was tucked in between manuscripts of Marie Rasputin, which was his daughter.
Wouldn't that need to be properly preserved though, to not just like completely decay?
Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah. So they made tests of it, and it was revealed to be a dehydrated sea cucumber.
Rude. That poor sea
Um,
cucumber. He didn't deserve
I
that.
know. He was like, "That's not my legacy, guys." At least his truth was discovered in the end. But then, so let's go back to Igor Knyatskin, the guy who runs this museum of Russian erotica. He claims that he never saw how it was acquired, but the museum just had it in his possession when he like took ownership over it, which is like extremely dubious, and like that's why like I don't really think that's what it is. But you can go to the museum and see it for yourself, and a lot of people do. So
Why? Even knowing that it's not real?
I mean, some people really do think it's real. I don't know. I guess because it's like in St. Petersburg and that's where he dies, so like people don't really like they're not critical thinkers like you and I. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. I know too many people like that.
So that is Rasputin's penis. You guys can look it up for yourself. I'm not gonna post the picture because it's pretty grotesque. But if
It
you
is.
dare, feel free. Um, so let's talk about another famous Sydney. Let's just jump to another
Let's
one.
keep it going.
So here's something that I didn't know, and probably shows that I'm maybe a bit of a prude. But there's a penile piercing called the Prince Albert. Have you heard of this?
I
Is that
have.
a thing people know about? I didn't know about it.
I only knew
Um,
about it because I when I went to train at WWE, one of the guys that was our coaches is a wrestler or former wrestler or superstar or whatever they're called. And he went by Prince Albert at some point. And I think I told
oh,
Alex, and he was like, "Oh, I wonder if he had like why they called him that if he has like one of those piercings." And I was like, "What?" And then I looked it
oh,
up and was like, "Oh." So I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe men know since it's like I don't know.
It's like kind of their domain.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, oh yeah. To that person's point, you can go to the museum and see this apparent Rasputin's penis, to this day. So book your tickets now. Um, so the Prince Albert penis, sorry, the Prince Albert piercing. Why does it have that name? We're wondering. Um, it comes from Prince Albert, who was the consort to Queen Victoria, aka her hubby. Um, and it's claimed that he had his penis pierced so he could move it to the right or left without there being a noticeable bulge in his trousers. In his
What?
day, this piercing was known as a dressing ring and is allowed so that the penis could hook onto one side of the pants or the other.
What? So it had a
Doesn't that seem
function?
so painful?
That sounds
Yeah,
horrible.
I know. Who would do that? I guess like if your pants were like their pants were like very high waisted. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure. That sounds, I don't know. That sounds also like, how do you have set? It just feels bad for
Mm.
everybody involved.
Um, yeah, well, so um there's actually like no real evidence of this. This is like a pure historical rumor. Um, because according to some researchers, Albert was a huge prude. um, and he like to the point where he was like really, really mad at one of his sons after he learned that he was having an affair with an actress at an army camp. So that's a rumor. So this is all just like rumors of penises.
Sure.
But funny to hear about. I was gonna say imagine, but like I'm not gonna go that far.
Nah.
I just like for me, the idea that like you would just do that for like some sort of convenience, some like tucking convenience seems like very strange.
And just
But
wildly uncomfortable.
I know, I'm like, you can't just like going back to episode 101 of this very podcast, why don't you just get a cod piece? Do you know what I mean?
Just get a cod piece. There we
Come on.
go. Just get a
Look,
cod
his
piece. Good
people have been
throwback.
doing it. Yeah, thank you. So let's talk about history's worst person ever, Adolf Hitler. So in 2015, this book came out called Hitler's Last Day, um, by Jonathan Mayo and Emma
Okay.
Craigie, apparently. And they gave some very intimate details of his genitals. And quote, Hitler himself is believed to have had two forms of genital abnormality, an undescended testicle and a rare condition called penile hypospadiastas, in which the urethra opens on the underside of the penis. And this was a huge press story when this came out because basically people interpreted this as that he had a micropenis.
Isn't that what Dave has? Have you watched Dave on FX?
No.
I feel like he has something wrong with his penis, and I feel like it's that. What was it called again?
Micro penis? Don't look it up. It's so disturbing.
I'm not gonna look up. I don't want to see micro penis Dave. Lil Dicky. That's why he called Lil Dicky. Dave is about Lil Dicky, the rapper. And I think that might be why he's called that. Lil Dicky talks conquering rare penis disorder as I was very self-conscious about so many things. When I was born, I had surgery on my penis. So from a very young age, body trauma and physical insecurity has been like top of mind. I would avoid hanging out with girls because I was afraid my penis was too weird. It's called hypospadias. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's what Lil Dicky has. Yeah.
Okay, because apparently it's the penis is fused to the body, meaning that it appears smaller. Which actually would explain a lot about Hitler, I feel like.
Yeah, he definitely had a complex.
Well, I didn't read the whole thing because it was like 1,000 pages and it was like too depressing, but I started to read that famous biography, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, which was very fascinating. And I read the whole part about his upbringing and like him being a young person in Vienna, and like he literally never got laid ever, which I feel like would explain. This would help explain that.
I mean, it's a
Or like why he didn't seek it out at all.
yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
I get it. Well, actually, I don't get it at all, but I can imagine that if that was an issue, I probably wouldn't want people to see it either.
So, I mean, who's to say? I mean, it's probably a myth, but
I don't know. Lil Dicky has it. It's something
I
that
meed the
exists.
fact that
It's
Hitler
real.
had it, who knows if that's real? But there's also gossip that he had to be injected with bull semen to his libido. So there's also a bunch of like crazy Hitler sex stuff
Oh, I'm sure.
out there. And there's a lot actually in that like famous historical book that I read that was like pretty disturbing, I have to say. And apparently like this guy who was like a priest that was close to him like intercepted all these like dirty letters he wrote his mistress and was like horrified by them and hid them away so that no one would ever find them, and then someone, and that's how they kind of knew about his
His micropene.
intimate life, not about his micropenis
Oh,
specifically. So we have two more. I
okay.
know.
I mean, just
This
keep
one
them
is
coming.
not. This one is not like abnormal. It's just a little grotesque, and I had no idea, and it's pretty funny. So we all know the president Lyndon B. Johnson, and I know I didn't find the answer to this, but I'm wondering if that's why the nickname for penis is Johnson, because
Oh.
this guy apparently loved his dick.
I mean,
So
it checks out.
apparently, I had never heard of this, but apparently there's a bunch of stories about the fact that Johnson's Johnson was a big thing for him. He
What do
was
you
very
mean?
proud of what he was possessing.
Oh.
So,
Is he related to the Johnson and Johnson Corporation at all?
I don't know. I feel like that's a really common last name.
Well, I was just thinking because it's like Johnson and Johnson, like maybe he named it after his penis, I guess.
He's like, I'm Johnson and this is my Johnson, and we're gonna sell you baby soap.
Yeah.
Um, so, um, this is, I'm not gonna read that. There's a really grotesque like satire article that was written in 1967.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already saying it, so I guess I'll just say it. That was a realist printing of an illustration of Lyndon B. Johnson sexually assaulting one of JFK's bullet wounds on board Air Force One.
What?
Yeah. Um, so that's I guess where like this started. It's a little unclear, but apparently some audio recordings of his phone calls were released or like somehow uncovered, and one of them was to his tailor, where Lyndon B. Johnson was calling his tailor and asked for his pants to be adjusted in the crotch so they could accommodate his giant.
Okay.
He says in the audio, quote, "These pants are the best that I had in the United States, so leave me about an inch from under me, back up to my bunghole."
Okay.
But I mean, like, he wanted some comfy pants to like accommodate his biology or his whatever, his anatomy.
Sure.
Okay, sure. But this is the thing that made him kind of an asshole about his obsession with his penis. Apparently,
Not that he sexually
whenever
assaulted the bullet wound.
no, sorry, that was a satirical
Oh,
cartoon.
I
Yeah,
completely
no, that
missed when you
wasn't
said
real. That
satirical,
was
and I was
not real.
like,
That was not real.
how is everybody like okay with that?
No,
Okay,
no,
okay,
it was
okay.
like a terrible like cartoon made
Got it,
in
got
like
it. Okay,
50 years
okay,
ago.
we're good, we're good.
So this is a rumor that like apparently is famous, which I had never heard of. But apparently, when Johnson would find himself at a urinal with someone, he would pull out Jumbo. He nicknamed his penis Jumbo, and ask the person, "Have you ever seen anything as big as this?" Well, he shook it at whomever had the bad luck of standing next to him.
What? Why?
I don't know, because he's a freak. I
Okay.
mean, politicians are all freaky, so like not that surprised. Um, yeah, I just said that. About the Taylor, yes. So that's Lyndon B. Johnson. Johnson and
Johnson and
Johnson.
Johnson.
I will never think about that soap in a
Ever
different
again.
way. Ever again. So let's go back to the famous the most famous story of famous penises, and that is our friend Napoleon Bonaparte. So, if you don't
Bonaparte.
know, hey, I mean, come on, it's in the name. So, I'm not going to go into his history, but I'll say I would love to because I'm big fan
I started
in some
listening to the
ways.
podcast you
And you're
recommended,
like, this is so
and
boring.
I started falling asleep at the wheel. So I decided it's maybe something I listen to while I'm cook or something.
I started listening to it when I was getting insomnia, and I would get through like one and a half and then fall asleep.
It is
So I
really
think,
interesting. I think it's something about like the combination of just like so dense and the guy's voice.
yeah, all he does is talk, but it is very dense. It's interesting
It
though.
is. It's super interesting.
It gets like the bangers are when we get into the French Revolution. I have to say, like those are the episodes they pop off. Anyways, let's just talk about the end of his life. So he was exiled to the island of St. Helena in the Atlantic Ocean after losing the Battle of Waterloo. And no, I'm not talking about the ABBA song, but that's a banger.
It is.
We can all agree. So he died on that island on May 5th, 1821. And after his death, an autopsy was conducted. And Francesco Antomarachi, the doctor conducting his autopsy, cut his penis off along with several other body parts. And no one knows if that was intentional or an accident. And some people claim that he was bribed to cut it off by Napoleon's chaplain as revenge for Napoleon calling him impotent.
Sure.
So who's to say? Then it's claimed that the penis was passed into the possession of this chaplain, who then smuggled it out of the island to his home on Corsica, which is where Napoleon was. And it remained in the priest's family until 1916, when Magsbro Limited, yeah, a bookselling company based in London, purchased it. Why? Who's to say? And then in 1924, A.S.W. Rosenbach, a Philadelphia-based bookseller, purchased it. So these
Why does everybody
booksellers
want
are
these?
going wild.
Or what?
I guess because like people like love Napoleon.
I could see like maybe like a lock of his hair, or like an outfit.
I saw a lock of his hair at a exhibition one time. It's really crazy.
Or like
be
a
honest.
hat.
Yeah, it's like why like this like I guess it's literally like the person in the chat said it's like middle school mentality that no one grows out of.
Okay.
So yeah, 1924, another bookseller in Philadelphia bought it, and then the penis went on display in 1927 at New York City's Museum of French Art. And a reviewer at the exhibition from Time magazine described it as similar to a maltreated strip of buckskin shoelace.
Ugh.
And others considered that were there said it looked like a piece of leather or a shriveled eel. Rosenbach then sold it to a collector named Donald Hyde, whose wife gave it to a man named John F. Fleming after Hyde died.
Why is it
Fleming,
passing so many owners? Why
see,
do so
and
many
they're
people
all
want
booksellers.
this?
They're all booksellers. So Fleming was a bookseller who was really close to Rosenbach. So I guess he's like, hey, you're my best friend. Like, I really want you to have no, like, it would mean a lot to me.
Sure.
So then another collector purchased it and tried to unsuccessfully sell it at a Christie's auction. And so after the auction, this man named James, I mean, it's hard to keep track of all these names, but this man named James Coman was reading an affidavit about from this guy who collected a bunch of Napoleon's like tchotchkes, and this guy said, yeah, this thing exists, and he only referred to it as a certain part of Napoleon.
Okay.
And so this guy was like, hell yeah, like I want to buy it. So he bought it, and then finally this urologist, which to me makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense to me.
Sure.
A urologist and artifact collector named John K. Latimer purchased the item in 1977 for $3,000, which is
That's it?
equivalent to $12,000 in 2020. I know, not that much.
I would
to
have
be
thought it
honest.
was going for like way more.
And it is currently owned by his daughter, and she has been offered at least $100,000 for it over the years. So
Where does she keep
by
it?
those, who knows? I mean, what do you like? That's so gross.
That's so gross. I don't. Okay.
So this penis has been described as barely recognizable as a human body part, and obviously its authenticity is unclear. And a documentary aired called Dead Famous DNA, and it featured this supposed artifact, and it described it as very small, measured to be about 1.5 inches. And it's not sure how big it was in Napoleon's lifetime, but like to be fair, I'm sure it has shrunk a lot because
Yeah.
like, I mean,
It's definitely
it's
flaccid.
like human flesh. So, the current owner of the item, who's woman's daughter, or the urologist's daughter, apparently has allowed 10 people. I don't know how they know this, but it has allowed 10 people to see it, and she's never allowed anyone to record it on camera.
Do you think it's like a joke? Like she's like, okay, it's gonna happen, and she like takes it out, and it's just like her finger or something, like with surrounded by like a curtain.
I mean, that's a super missed opportunity for a very good joke, if not. But like, who's to say? I just love the idea that like all these booksellers are like, hey, like.
I don't get it. Why? I see. I can't even wrap my brain around getting to that point that it's like bookseller, because I just do not understand why you would want to see it, why you would want to collect it. Like I just can't get in these people's heads. And I feel like, you know me, like it's like I feel like I'm a very empathetic person. Like I can really understand how people are feeling. I like to understand where they're coming from, and I
mean, I get it.
I
No, I'm
don't
the
see
same. I
it.
don't. The only thing, not the penis part of it, but the only reason why it makes sense to me that it's like this bookseller thing is like historians and like bookish people are like obsessed with Napoleon because he was such like an influential. He was like a guy that came out of nowhere and like fucked up Europe basically in like
Yeah.
both good and bad ways. Um, and so his history freaks go nuts for him. And I
But
guess
for
they
his
also go
penis?
nuts for the nuts. Apparently, I think it's like some weird like power thing, you know? Like I don't
own
get it.
you.
But that's some of historical penises. Thank you all who has ever listened this far. Um,
I mean, it's definitely interesting. How did you get on this? And how did you know how did you find so many famous
there's
penises?
many articles about it online.
Oh.
I got onto it because Caleb was talking about Succession, and apparently that's like a plot
Oh,
line
you
of one of
said
the
that. That's
episodes.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I was like, that's crazy. And then the internet wormhole began.
As it does.
And then you actually sent me the TikTok about Rasputin's penis.
You're right, I did.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So you Sydney,
Wow.
I'll give it to you that you inspired this episode.
You know,
If you want to accept that.
I proudly accept this episode. Okay, well, folks, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget new episodes every Friday. If you want to watch it live on Twitch, you can. Twitch.tv/SidSoGood. We record them usually on Tuesday. And yeah, we got it on YouTube if you ever want to watch the full video version, and audio, you can find us wherever there are podcasts. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks. Bye.
Like trying to like stop the recording with